Hello and welcome. Fiona Whitten from Oak for Crafts here, and as I said, welcome to another Stamping and Creating. So this week I'm sharing with you, just checking that this has gone live, sorry, make sure. Oh, you know what, I think Facebook has done something really silly again, and this is now going to come out all sideways. Did it to me yesterday on something else, and I just don't know how to correct this, because it looks all right on my phone, but looking at it on the screen is like, this is not right. I will correct it when it comes to posting it onto YouTube, short of me turning it off and turning it back on again and resetting everything. I'm not too sure what I can do. Anyway, so apologies for the fact that it's this way. Okay, yes, so today I'm going to share with you their shops, 12 by 12 paper, and some projects that I've made. So this is the paper, and the thing that attracted me to it is the fact that there are a number of sheets that have these really sweet shops on, which you can cut out and create various cards, put scenes and things like that. And I love the colours. There are so many colours in this, it's absolutely crazy. I'm just going to show you the paper and then I'll show you all the other details. So we have like boutique, art shop, this looks like a Chinese restaurant, or an Asian restaurant. It could be, I guess it could be Korean, it could be Japanese. What else is on here? I think that's those three. And then on the reverse side of that is this rather nice patterned paper. This one, I have just got, you got 3 rows of shops on a blue background, and everything's in white. So this you could just chop, going from side to side, and then create a card using that. And then on this side we've got lots of little shops. So all the shops that you will see in the paper, they're on here. So we've got books. We've got chrysanthemum. I think that's what that is. We've got tubes of paint. And then this very yellow grid type, which could set your eyes off a little bit. I've actually used it, so which is why this is not a full 12 by 12, and I'll show you that card in a minute. And then we've got another sheet that has, so this is more like food, other foods. So we've got a bakery. I will say this is pasta. And then we've got an ice cream and a sweet shop. So that. We've got, oops, sorry, and I should show the reverse side of that, shouldn't I? So this has got another pattern. So we have 2 patterned with similar designs on, which I like that as well. I like this paper. It's a shame that they got these on the other side, because, but we'll figure that one out. And then we've got a sheet that has bread, ice creams, noodles, fork, all sorts of bits and pieces. And then this sort of like arch type pattern in grey. And then this is the last sheet that has different shops on again. So we've got bookshop, thinking that's a flower shop. I suspect that's like a beauty parlour, hairdressers, makeup, whatever. And also you've got lots of these little flower pots. So there's all sorts of bits and pieces that you can use to make up the scene. So this one, so that's got the flower pots. This has got little easels that would be outside on the pavement. And then this one too has got pots on. So as I said, there's lots of things there that you can use to create a card without any stamping. Because I have to admit, I do not have the stamps or the dies. So you'll find the details of this on pages 30 and 31 of the annual catalogue. Now, if you don't have a UK demonstrator and don't already have a catalogue, then if you use the link that's in the description for the YouTube, which will, because this will go up on YouTube, then you can order a catalogue on there. So this is the stamp set. As I said, I don't have it. Paper I do, and then the dies. So that's on pages 30 and 31. The paper itself, with all the colours, as I said, there are lots of colours. So we've got, let's see, Balmy Blue, Basic Black, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Crumb Cake, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Granny Apple Green, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, Pumpkin Pie and Shade of Spruce. So as you can tell, as I said, there are lots of different colourways you can use for this. So that's on page 131, and then on page 158, there are the dies. You can see the dies. So of course you can purchase the stamp set and the dies as a bundle, purchase them individually, purchase the paper individually, or there is a collection option. Stampin' Up call it a collection. It does have the 10% saving on the stamp set and dies, but they just put it all under one code, so it's easy. If you do want everything, it's a lot easier to order it that way. Right, so that's the items that are in the catalogue. Right, anyway, so the cards. So I've made 3 cards already, and this was the first one that I made. Now I've got to, there we go, make sure that you can actually see this. So I literally fussy cut out 2 of the shop fronts. So I have the boutique and I have the restaurant. This is sitting on this is boho blue, the paper, and that is Pebble Path. So it's sitting on Pebble Path. The hello comes from the Go-To Greetings stamp set, and I simply stamp that in Night of Navy, and then I die cut it out using the smallest banner die from the Stylish Shape dies, but it was still too big, so I then recut it so that I could shorten it and then use it as the name of the boutique. So that's my little hello card. And then on the inside, I stuck one of the shops that are on the edge of the paper. So I try not to waste any of the paper. So let's see, this one here. Yeah, this one. I'll use this one because it's got more. So you'll see that these ones here, that one's not so bad. This one and that one have been cut off. So I would cut those out and use them for the inside of my card. Obviously then that would go on the right hand side, but there's nothing to stop you from also using the bits on the left hand side of the paper and having them put onto the left hand side of your white that goes inside your card, so that you can send, people can write on that. So that was my first one. My second one looks like this. So it's a different shop. So it's using the art shop. And here I've used the that arched, sort of pebbled, literally as a pebble path. Cut out my shop, cut out some more of the little the tall pots. So I basically stuck this pattern on first, then stuck the shop, and then these are just popped up on dimensionals. Should have mentioned that this one, that one's glued on, and then that and that and that are on dimensionals. So this one I haven't put any I haven't put a sentiment on, and the folders at the top because it's basically what's left of that paper from there. So, and again, you see, I used the rest, put the restaurant on the inside. So there's that one. The third one I used some different paper. So this is that yellow, the Daffodil Delight grid. I don't know, it looks like diamonds. And it could, as I said, it could send your eyes a bit doolally. So I used that paper, and it's actually on. So I've got this is the new Lemon Lolly. This is Pecan Pie. And I glued my shop on, so I've used the sweet shop in this. And then I thought, I'm not too sure. So what I did is I used one of the scraps I had left from that card, and worked out what the distance was between there and there. Cut a strip that went right across, but then I marked on the top edge where the shop was, and then just cut diagonally from that point to the corner and that point to the corner, and then glued it on. So it kind of gives it a bit more of a dimension looking. The easel, actually I don't know what they're called outside. Shop board or whatever. So put one of those on, and then the happy birthday stamped in Night of Navy, and I just simply gave that straight edges. And at this time I only just put the strip of paper on the inside rather than actually putting another shop. So those are the 3 cards that I've made using various shop fonts from the paper, and I'm going to make a 4th one, or 4th card, but I actually want to use, I want to use all sorts of things actually, so I just need to figure it all out. So I want to use this paper, and I want to use that shop there, or actually maybe that one would be better. So I'm just going to quickly put that to one side, Just going to get my trimmer out. So I've got my trimmer. I've got a sheet of Night of Navy, and I'm just going to cut that in half to make a base card. So the half of this A4 is actually 14.85. A lot of people cut it at 14.9, but I usually try and do 14.85. But really, whatever is the easiest for you. So that's that. And I'm going to move that out of the way. So remember, your dark blade is your cutting blade, and the lighter coloured is your scoring blade. You don't want to be making the mistake of cutting instead of scoring. Although, I mean, to be honest, we all do it. There have been occasions when I haven't really been paying attention, and yeah, I managed to cut it rather than score it, but hey. So this is a piece of Flirty Flamingo, and I only need to panel this. I don't need to be making a card from. So I'm cutting it so that it's 1/2 centimetre smaller. So I'm cutting it at 10 by 14.4, and that will then sit on here, like so. And then I am going to cut. I know this is going to have quite a few layers on it. A basic white piece, which is going to be 9.5 by 13.9. So each time I cut a layer, I'm going down by 1/2 centimetre. So my front is 10.5 by 14.9. My next layer is 10 by 14.4, and the layer after that is 9.5 by 13.9. So that will sit on there like so, she says, like that. And whilst I'm cutting, I'm also going to copy, so it's 10 by 14.4, which is going to go on the inside of my card. And I'm going to keep that bit because that just might be a good size for a sentiment. We shall see. Right, so that's all my cardstock cut. Now I need to cut my paper. Make sure there's nothing on there that I do want. So I'm going to cut this at, let's see, that's 9.5. So I'm going to cut it at, initially at 7. We'll see how that looks. Maybe a bit too wide. 7 by, let's go 11. So maybe I'll change this. So let's see if I can kind of make this. I don't want to use too much of this paper. I want to introduce it, but at the same time I don't want to make it so in your face, to put it politely. Let's put that away. And trying to see what I can use here. Use up one of these bits here. So I'm going to make that a bit wider than that previous one. A bit shorter. So that is, to make it to be 11. So let's make this to be 8.5. So it's almost square. Not quite. So I've got my 2 pieces of paper here, there, like that, and then I need my let's put all these out the way so that they don't fall over, and I don't actually really need my trimmer at the moment either. Trying to keep everything tidy. Right. So I want that. That's the one that I want. So it's a question of, I'm just going to roughly cut around it to start off with, and then I will trim it up properly. I don't have my paper snips with me, so I'm just using another pair of scissors that I have to hand. Otherwise I would be using them. Right, I'll keep those for another occasion. Now the nice thing about this paper is that there aren't too many funny angles and things to cut. There's the odd one or two. One of the papers just has some flowers on the top, but if you didn't really want them, you could just ignore them and just cut right across. Similarly here, the chimney pot, if I didn't want the chimney there, I could just cut straight across. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Anything to make your life easier when it comes to fussy cutting. I like fussy cutting, so it doesn't really bother me doing all this. Not having the dies, I'm not too sure if any of them fit any of these sheets of paper. I would be surprised if there isn't one or two that didn't, but I can't guarantee that. Maybe the dies in the stamp set will be falling onto my wish list, onto my basket next time I do an order. I think I'm nearly done, so I just need to finish this bit here. Right. And then I'm not sure, but I might use this, so I'm going to cut around it quickly. So this is the bit that's it requires a bit more concentration when it comes to doing things like this, because you don't have to go in and out. You could just sort of use a circle die or a small circle punch and just cut it out as a circle. It depends on how much of the background colour you like to cut off. I like to cut off most of it. I don't always succeed, but that's where trim paper scissors come in handy, because you can just go in and trim off the odd little bit if you want to. That's that. Let's quickly go in and do some of this. I'm not going to do every single bit, but like if you get the you just don't want it to be straight. So any bit that you can angle, make it look like you're going around. There we go, that'll do. It looks pretty much okay. Now let's see. Do I even want that white? I could just go straight with this, and then we've got more space for the there we go. I think that's what I might end up doing, and let me put the little pot there. Right, okay, so I need some glue. So let's do this. Let's put some glue on here. On here, try and get it in a straight line with regards to the so you've got a border on one side, and then try and have it so that the top and bottom are equal distances as well, or as close to it as you can see. And then do I want it that way? I think I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to put that quite a bit over. Like that. Now I could glue this directly on, but I think I'm actually going to put some dimensionals behind that. So just kind of in the corners and bits that you don't really want to have loose. So I'm going to put a small one there, I think, just to hold that down. You don't want to catch it when you're putting it in and out of the envelope. See if I can get these off. There we go. Right, nearly done. So I want to put it so that this point here is sort of roughly the same distance as that. Like that. And I'm going to put my plant pot down here. So I want a small dimensional at the bottom. And then I want to put some glue at the top because it's just going to overhang the shop slightly. Oops. Now I could put it here. Or I could put it, actually I'm going to put it there though. Like that. Okay, so that's my scene, but I've used a different paper. I've used some of the pattern to incorporate that as well. And that's going to sit on here, so that's just going to get glued on. I'm running out of glue, I think, but hey. So that's going to go on there, like so. And then I have this to decorate. Let's see, what is that long? Yeah, that is long enough. So scraps of your double-sided paper are always great for decorating inside cards and whatever. So I'm going to cut that, so I need to bring my trimmer back. And let's see, and try and get it so that this is roughly, if I cut it at 1.5, that might work actually. Obviously got a bit of glue on my finger because it's sticking to it. I was just trying to have it so that the pattern kind of looked the same top and bottom. Put that on here. Make sure that is the piece on the inside. Yep. And not the other piece. So I'm going to put that at the bottom there. Could equally put it at the top. Depending on how daring you are, you could either cut it directly to size or, like I've done, just to make sure slightly longer, and it's easier just then to cut off a piece that is overhanging. I find that I do my card and the cuppa kits, that things like that I make a little bit too long. It's easier to cut things off than it is to try and stick things back on. So that's going to go on the inside like that. I said I don't need that. And then the question is, are we going to put a sentiment on here, or am I going to be brave and actually just stamp directly on? So I've got these go-to greetings. And I like these little sentiments here. So you've got pretty much the same sentiments in 3 different fonts. So you've got these 3 and those 2, that's fine. The only one that's not repeated is the hello, because I can't see it. So you've got 4 here, 4 here, and then 5 here. So I think these little ones here would be quite neat. And the hello is already here. I just need a block. And to be honest, don't be scared about whether or not you're going to get this. Because it's a red rubber stamp set, don't be frightened that you might get that bit skew with here, because you can always then stamp it onto some basic white or a different colour, cut it out and then stick it on. And that will then totally hide it. So let's see, hello, let's see how good this is. So it goes up slightly. I just need to, let's see how that comes out. Oh, perfect. But as I said, if you're not sure, then just simply put it onto a piece of white. Oops, that's not such a good one. Actually, that one's a bit thinner. Like that. And then either use your trimmer or your paper snips to just simply cut it. So if I wasn't happy with that, I could just do that and stick it on a dimensional. It'd be even better if I could actually cut it straight, like that. But I'm actually quite happy with that on there, like that so. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then do we want to add some embellishments? That is the $64 million question. I think I will. I've got some rhinestones. I might take your pick tool. So let's see, just put a couple on here. Well, 3 at least, because I've got to put my uneven numbers on. Maybe some more. We've got one there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need another one. Let's put one on here. There we go. Right. So that is my 4th card. So that's the one that I've just made. And then, let's see if I put that up there. I can actually put it right over there. That's that one. That's that one. Actually, maybe I'll put, I'm going to put those 3 there. So I think you can see them there. And then that's the 4th one. Like that. Let's see if I keep going up. There we go. So those are my 4 cards. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that. As I said, the paper's really good because you can do so much with it without purchasing the stamp set. Although obviously if you do purchase the stamp set and dies, you can add other details to this because there are other things that you can add. You can put things in windows, you can add benches, you can add lamp posts. It's just something that I haven't actually got yet. Yeah, so that's it for today. Don't forget bonus days are on at the moment, so for every £45 you spend you do get a bonus coupon to be used next month. The clearance rack got updated last week. I don't know what's left in it still, to be honest. There were certainly lots of good things, so take a peek at that. And what else was I going to tell you? Oh, and of course the new online exclusives went live last week as well. So yeah, so if you want to shop with me, if you don't already have a demo in the UK or Ireland, then I'd love you to think about me, and you can go to oakfieldcrafts.com, and then at the top there is a button that says shop now or shop, and you can use that to go directly to my online shop. All the links will get posted on the YouTube video when that gets posted later in the week, and the photos of all these cards will get put on Facebook as well, of course. So hope you've enjoyed that. Next week is Card and a Cuppa. So Trisha will be at the Home Grange Craft Village over at the Grange Chocolate Cafe at 10, and I will be live in the afternoon. Okay, so thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.